So we're ranking every Chiefs position group heading into training camp, and some of these rankings will start a war between me and Mike. Let's talk about that. Chiefs Kingdom, how we doing, football fans? Y'all get on in here, baby. We're going to talk about these position groups tonight, do some tiers on those, see which ones that we think are great, which ones we're worried about, all that good stuff. Real quick, want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. We'll have more on them here in a little while. If you guys would, hit that like button on the way in. And also, if you enjoy tonight's stream, subscribe to the channel. Mike, what about these position groups, baby? You think we're really going to have a war here?
I think we might. If you guys remember, we ranked positions back in the offseason before free agency, and we had a knockout dragout over Rico Dowdle, if I remember correctly. I didn't know you hated Rico Dowdle so much.
I didn't know that you loved him so much. So.
Yeah, see, so I expect that tonight because we've not talked about these. So we're going to go into these blind. We've not really spoken about this off and have like a coordinated ranking. So I'm kind of excited. I'm ready to jump in whenever you are, man. Just let me know.
Yeah, and you guys get in the chat and you help us out too. I want to know what you guys think about all these different position groups, and might just go ahead and bring it up and show them what we're going to do, and then we'll get their input as well. I think it'll be fun. Real quick before we get started, though, I just want to shout out Adam Brown with a 2 bomb. Says appreciate all your hard work this offseason. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. That's freaking awesome. But yeah, Mike, show them what's going on.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do a tier list. We all know S tier is the highest. Then there's going to be an A, B, C, D. I don't think there's any F tier group on our roster. I think we can all agree on that. I don't think anybody's an F tier.
F on here, huh?
Right, there's nobody as an F tier. I could have went D/F, but I really don't think there's any F tiers. But we're going to go through it. Quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver, offensive and defensive lines, linebackers, corners, safety, and special teams. And I am sorry that there's going to be these weird ads coming up saying that they have diarrhea. Okay. I cannot help that. I am sorry. That's on that website. We can't do it. We are not sponsored by the diarrhea people. Just a shout out. So Steve, let's just go ahead and do one ranking, and then we'll take this off the screen so people can see our lovely faces, and we'll chat about it. Let's start at quarterback. I think this is easy. If you got Patrick Mahomes, you're an S tier.
No doubt about it.
There is no doubt about it.
We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to talk about that one. I think everybody knows that Patrick Mahomes is S tier.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes is S tier, but
and then if you think about it, you also drafted Nussmeier. You also traded for Justin Fields. I think that's a pretty good quarterback room.
That's what you needed to talk about, because I do believe with Fields and Nussmeier, look, the Nuss bus is going to be a decent quarterback here, in my opinion. I believe after this year, we will not be out signing or making moves for the Justin Fields or the Gardner Minshews. That's our hope with Nussmeier. And so I believe with those two behind Mahomes, if Mahomes did have to start the season, not starting, I feel decently comfortable with those two. I would think maybe Nuss could beat Fields in the offseason if you give him a chance at camp. That would be a fun little battle to see who wins QB2.
I've seen people talking about that. I kind of doubt it. But you never know. I mean, Justin Fields has not lived up to the billing.
Right. I don't feel like Nuss is as mobile. And we know that in Andy Reid's system, because you've seen it with Oladokin. Oladokin looked a little bit better than Gardner Minshew because he was a little more mobile. And so maybe Fields will have that over Nussmeier. But we can go ahead and move on. Let's go to running back. We're going to go down the list. I think with Kenneth Walker on the team now, that's a big signing, Steve.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker.
And then drafting Emmett Johnson.
Yes, Imari DiMercado was a very solid move. And, of course, we still got Brashard Smith here. And then we've got all these UDFAs that could come in and make an impact. But I would think right now I'm going to put Walker Johnson. I'll count Walker Johnson, DiMercado, Brashard Smith. That's our presumed top 4. And I don't think they're S tier just yet, because I think DiMercado's got a little bit to prove. Brashard Smith definitely's got something to prove. And then even though I think Emmett Johnson will be a solid player in this league, he could even be great. I think with a rookie season and knowing that may translate to maybe a little iffy in the pass protection game, I think the best I could do with our running back room is probably going to be an A tier. Would you argue B tier, or do you think A tier solid?
No, I think that it's totally fair to have it at A tier. You want to go S tier because of Kenneth Walker, but I mean, when you're thinking about the rookie and the rest of the guys on this roster, I think A tier is completely fair.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think you can go anything worse than that. I think putting Kenneth Walker in there, I mean, if you would have rated our guys last year, we'd have been like D tier.
Yep.
Sadly.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you can
for
tell
sure.
that
Well,
running back definitely did something there.
Yeah, and once again, I want you guys in the chat to let us know if you think it's A. Let us know if you think they should be at S tier. Let us know. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and move on. I think those two are the pretty obvious ones there.
Right.
We can go back to it. Yeah, happy Father's Day, to
Yeah.
everybody. By the way,
Of course. Steve, we just got right into the Chiefs talk tonight because we're fired up for the season, and we forgot to wish all the dads a happy Father's Day out there.
yeah, happy Father's Day, and shout out Pops for being the best one.
Pops
So if he's
took him
watching,
out to a little Mexican cuisine
Father's
today.
Day.
You knew he was gonna. Pops was gonna have a little Mexican food on Father's Day. What else is he gonna do? We're gonna force him to do that. So, okay, let's get back into it. Let's talk about the tight end room. Kelsey. Okay, so we talked about the tight end room a little bit. It's a little, I don't want to say like bad, but Noah Gray has not really proven that he could be that next in line. He's shown flashes, but I don't think people's comfortable with it. We've yet to draft anybody besides, Jared Wiley, who is, again, not really shown that he can do it. I think he had 1-2 catches last year. It was hardly anything. And then, of course, we've been looking to UDFA pools. We went to, Trey Watson. We've looked at Jake Brenningstool. We're bringing in Gillenborg. We just signed Mason Pline, who's never taken an NFL snap, although he's been in the league 2 years. It's a little shaky behind Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce's a little older. He did say he's going for 1,212 tutties this year. Is he going to find the fountain of youth? And if he does, he probably gets rated on an S tier, to be honest. But I don't know if he's going to hit 1,212 tutties.
Yeah, no, I mean, this tight end room, it's a little bit different than what we're used to. Real quick, just want to address, I guess Nightbot is blocking everyone's emojis. So that's something we'll figure out what's going on with that later. Just don't worry about it. It'll be all right. But either way, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just for some reason something happened in the settings. We'll fix it later.
I'll go look. We'll get it. It's okay. We can do without emojis.
Yeah. What are you doing, Nightbot? What are you doing to us? Either way, I think with the tight end room, obviously with Travis Kelce on the team, you want to go A tier. Or a few years ago, S tier, because he's the best tight end ever play football. But I think you have to put into account that Kelsey's getting a little bit older now. I think you got to put into account that there has been no one coming behind him to really take the reins of the tight end position. There's no one coming in that we can trust to be that next in line there. I think it gets a little bit weird. So I like Mike. If I had to put him in one right now, I think I have to go B tier. I do. And
I was thinking B as well.
Yeah, it's being generous for the entire tight end room as a whole.
I was thinking B as well. Look, I love Kelce, and I think I would love to put him in the A tier, but it's like you don't know what you're getting in his final year, and we've seen that he's held on to being very, very good. But is that going to continue? Is he going to go down? Could he go forward? Absolutely, he could get better this year. I laughed at this when I couldn't take it. Nightbot totally talked crap to Shane and said, "You kiss your mother."
I've seen that a few times. But and then when I was looking, it was getting people's emojis for some reason.
Yes, there was something about emojis were getting blocked. I think I found it. I think I turned it off. It was an update. Tight end, I'm with you. I'm going to go B tier here. I think that's fair with Kelce. I really do. I think that's probably what we want to do there is tight end. B tier, it's tough to put them at A, especially with the backups.
I definitely want to know what everyone in the chat thinks about this one, because this one's a weird one now. Like I said, a couple years ago, S tier, easy. You still kind of want to put it in an A because it's Travis Kelce. But at the same time, when you look at the tight end room as a whole, I think B's being generous. Like I said, I want to see what you guys in the chat think. So throw in what you think about the tight end room and where they should be, and we'll move on to, let's go to wide receivers here. Let's do
wide receivers. I'm just going to move it up here. This is not my ranking. I'm just going to throw them here for now just so we know what we're doing. Here's what I'll say with wide receivers. I'm going to assume that Rashee Rice is going to keep it together and not be suspended. Now, that is a big assumption. But I'm going to assume that, and I'm going to assume he is used as we always use him, and he is going to be an integral part. I read a stat the other day that said Rashee Rice missed, 8 or 9 games last year, maybe 10 games because he missed a few with injuries. And he still was a top 5 to 6 wide receiver in fantasy football with red zone targets. Think about that. He played in literally 7 games last year and was a top 5, top 10 red zone targeted wide receiver. So he is an integral part, especially in the red zone. I think Xavier Worthy's going to have another good year this year. I think, well, he's not had a great year so far, like any year, but I think his first year was solid. Last year was a down year. We know he's playing through all kinds of injuries and things, but I think he's going to have a big bounce back year. I feel okay about where Xavier Worthy is right now. I feel okay about what we've seen from Jalen Royals this offseason. Tyquan Thornton, I feel okay there. I am not as doom and gloom over this receiver group, especially adding Cyrus Allen, and he's looked okay in all these OTA practices. He was actually, I think Matt McMullen said he was one of the standouts for him over these, mandatory practices and things. So I don't think our wide receiver group is as doom and gloom as people think it is. I think for me right now, I'm going to give them a solid B. I think they're right there with the whole Kelsey thing. Like, is it great? I don't know. If you could tell me Xavier Worthy 100% has a breakout year and Rashee Rice doesn't get in trouble anymore, I think I could put him at an A tier, honestly. But I think for now, B's fair.
Ooh, I don't know. This one's weird, man. I think that a lot of people will agree with you. I think a lot of people will go with more what I'm thinking. I'm thinking right now, C tier. And let me explain. I think that they could be a B tier because of all the things that you said, but we've yet to see that come to fruition, right? I think if you were to go get a good veteran wide receiver to come in, say they were to go get Stephon Diggs, I think instantly they're B tier easy. And then if the players turned out, eventually at the end of the season, they could be in an A tier range because you got a lot of talent on there. You got a lot of speed. Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton. If Rashee Rice actually comes back and plays the way that we know Rashee Rice could play, then all of a sudden, if you have that veteran receiver on there too, that could be crazy. And of course, we got to see how Cyrus Allen turns out. Jeff Caldwell might even sneak onto the roster and turn out to be crazy. I mean, this kid's athleticism's off the charts. I'm probably forgetting somebody. I'm sure I am. Oh, Jalen Royals. I mean, if he actually gets an opportunity this year and plays like we think he can, it could be a really good room. Right now, I'd probably put it at a C, but that's probably because I'm not as optimistic about it as you until I see it. I do think Chad O'Shea, getting him as the wide receiver coach, is a big, big thing. I think that's going to help them more than people think, but I haven't seen it yet. So until training camp, until we can see how they're looking, I'll go C. Mike, you can put them at B. I'm not going to argue with you because I'm right there. I'm teetering. So you guys in chat, let's know what you think.
So do you think the wide receiver? Okay, so I don't really want to do this, but I guess we could. So you think the wide receiver room is worse off than the tight end room, or would you put it like B tier here? Because you said you think they're a C. So presumably you think the wide receiver room's worse than the tight end room? That's wild to think about.
The wide receiver room doesn't have the best wide receiver to ever play football in it.
But they also don't have the best wide receiver to ever play football that's in year 28. With no backups behind him.
I'm fine with that. I don't care. Like, who do you think the best receiver in the league is right now? Like, older veteran. Like, just pick one. Like, if you put them on the roster, then I could probably put them into a B tier.
Well, so let's just say he's probably not the best ever, but let's just say D-Hop. You would
or
put
like
them in
Mike Evans or somebody like that. Like, if you had someone like that that's been consistently great year in, year out, their entire career, if you added that to this roster, then cool. I'd say it's an easy B, maybe an A. But right now, I just haven't seen it from these guys. I want to see Xavier Worthy have a breakout season. I want to see Rashee Rice come back and play like he did before he got injured. I want to see how Jalen Royals can actually fit into an NFL offense. We didn't get much of an opportunity for that. Cyrus Allen, Tyquan Thornton could have a breakout year. They're all what ifs. That's all I'm saying. If there was a constant like Travis Kelce, like the equivalent of that in the wide receiver room, then yeah, easy B. But I think right now I got to put them in the C. Maybe I'm just being a little too hard on the guys, but that's kind of how I feel about it. I just thought they had a really bad season last year.
I mean, I think you're fine. I understand the reasoning behind it. I think for me, I just don't feel like it's as bad as people are making it to be. Like, I honestly don't see the stress in it. Like, I understand there's a lot of what ifs, but I think, and bringing in Chad O'Shea was big. So I don't know. I think B works. I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. Let's go with B.
Yeah, we can leave it behind tight end too. Personally, for me, I think it's above the tight end room because
we'll put it above the tight end room in the B tier.
If Travis Kelce were to go down with
let's do that.
A tweaked ankle for a few weeks, like you're relying on who, right?
Well, yeah, I'm fine with it. I was just trying to have a little bit different perspective. That's all.
Okay.
We're getting offensive line right on cue. Got a 10 bomb from Can I Pet That Dog? This hot take. This is Trey Smith's last year. With Kingsley due and Simmons, who will be extended, we will need to cut costs. Smith wasn't worth this contract. He is very good. I think he gets traded next year.
I'm glad you brought that up. Can I pet that dog? Because I was going to make an argument here coming up to the offensive line, and it was going to revolve a little bit around Trey Smith. So I'm glad you brought that up. Great segue, by the way.
Yeah, perfect. Well, my thing is with Trey Smith, he just got the contract. So I don't know if this will be his last year. What was the contract for? How many years was Trey Smith's contract?
Smith.
What you would want to look for that is his entire contract and look for an out year. If they left a spot for them to have an out, then you might see them looking to trade or something like that. But I think sometimes the way the contract's structured, they're not going to go anywhere for a few years. They're just not.
Right. He signed a 4-year, $94 million, $23.5 million per year, $70 million in total guarantees. That at the time made him the highest paid guard in NFL history. At the time it was signed, and it says, yes, the contract features a clear potential out year ahead of 2028. So it would be after this season, after next season. So you are going to have him locked in for at least this year, next year, before they could get that out.
Okay, so just to your point, I don't think it was bad, but I do think it would be when there's an out in that contract. So I think he'll have at least 2 more years, like you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely something to be talking about, though, because they did overpay a guard. Now, I'm sure once you get to that point, there's going to be a lot of guards that were paid a lot more money now that the salary cap has gone up. Now that all guys are going to be asked for more money. You know how it goes. So, I mean, sometimes 2 or 3 years after a contract, it don't look so bad. You were just the first one. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully Trey Smith has an awesome year, though. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I've went and looked at Nightbot. I have no idea why Nightbot is going crazy tonight.
It's fine. We'll work on him later. It's not a big deal.
But
Everybody
he's
can still
like
talk.
he's just raging at people in the chat. Like now he's telling Danny, he's like, "Hey, Danny." Like I don't know why he's going crazy. Like I went and looked, and it looks like nothing has changed on Nightbot's
That's fine.
end.
We'll check it out later. Not a big deal.
Yeah. It's wild. It's funny, but it's wild. Hey, look, y'all just quit pissing off Nightbot, okay? Like, it's not that hard. He's a robot. Like, quit pissing him off.
Why is he so mad at everything?
I don't know. He's a little angry. So let me get to the offensive line here. I think the offensive line's solid this year. Now, a lot of people's going to say, look, they're bad, blah, blah, blah. I think Josh Simmons is going to have a pretty good year, too. I think he's focused. I'm actually writing a good episode for next week about Josh Simmons. I'm digging into all the factual things that we found out during his time that he stepped away last year. Definitive things. I'm not going to give away anything he didn't want to be given away, but I'm going to jump into that and try to ease people's minds on that. His focus coming back. I think he's going to be good here in year 2. I think he's focused. I think Kingsley should step up a little bit in year 3, year 2 at left guard. Creed is a different beast in the middle. Trey Smith had a little bit of a down year, but he battled a little bit of injury last year, so I think he is going to be very solid this year. Right tackle, again, we've talked about this over and over. Khalil Benson, you've got Esapole, you've got Jalen Moore. There's 3 guys there who could presumably be playing. Maybe all 3 of them get meaningful snaps throughout the year, just depending on injuries and things. So I think we're okay. If that right tackle position for me would be the weakness there. Maybe left tackle if Josh Simmons were to be injured again. So I think that's where Jalen Moore earns his money, and maybe even Esapole because they are very good swings. I don't know if Khalil Benson can swing to the left side. His footwork might not be good enough, even though Andy Reid did say he liked his footwork. So we'll see. I think for me, I'm going to put this group, I don't think they're an S tier. Obviously, they're not an S tier. I think they're borderline A to B, honestly.
They're
and
either
I'll say
top of B or lower A.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to go ahead and put them above the wide receiver group only because we have not figured out right tackle just yet. And we've yet to see how Josh Simmons is going to look in year 2, but I think that they should be at the top of the B tier.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have one of the best interior offensive lines in football with Creed and Trey. Kingsley would be your only question mark. I do think we see how Kingsley does in his second year at guard. I think that would make a big difference. Josh Simmons looked very promising, but let's see how he's doing this year. I think it's fair to put them at the top of the B tier or bottom of the A tier. I mean, if you think about it, like you said, the only one that gives you any kind of question marks is right tackle. That's the one that people are worried about. And I think that Jalen Moore Isapole and even Khalil Benson can give you viable right tackle help. I mean, we won Super Bowls with Andrew Wiley as a right tackle. It's not like he was groundbreaking. So as long as you get somebody in there that can do the job, I think we're cool. We're good with the offensive line. I'm not worried about the offensive line if those guys play up to their ability. So I'll go B. I think that's fair. Real quick, Mike, we got a 2 from Flapjack. It's 12-12 LOL. Randy said in year 14. The heck are you talking about, Flapjack? What did we miss? What did we miss?
What have I missed here?
I don't know.
Who's Randy?
I don't know. You're going to have to give some context, Flapjack. We're slow. We're slow, brother. I got a 2 bomb from Fred. Says, thumbs up, please. Yeah, if you guys don't care, hit that like button for us. That would be awesome. We'd appreciate it. Get this out to more Chiefs fans. Fred, thanks for the support, brother. We got Nikki with the 2. Says, hey, I take over. Nightbot's Revolt is just a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch them.
He's going crazy tonight. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at all his settings, and there's nothing changed. So he's having a mind of his own
it's probably
tonight.
some kind of weird update. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it panned out. We just can't do it at the same time we're doing a live stream. So
Right.
Don't worry about it, guys. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Appreciate the support, Nikki. And we got Red Pill Crip with the 5 bombs. Says, I agree with Mike. I don't think our wide receiver room is bad at all. But who are we comparing it to? What is an example of a team with 3 good wide receivers on every snap? I think
That's a good question.
The main thing that everyone's brain's going to go to is the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
Yeah, okay,
And-
so they got a really good top 2. Maybe you could go with like Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. That could be a good top 2, but like, do you have a top
is Addison
3?
still with the Vikings?
Yeah, from the last I heard.
Okay. So, yeah, that's probably where you'd go. I mean, what would you say? Would you say the Bengals, would they be an A tier? Just because of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? I think you have to.
Yeah, didn't they draft another one this year?
They've been drafting some guys. They drafted Burton last season.
Yeah, he didn't look too well.
They
too
drafted
good, though.
Charlie, what was his name? The little white dude that was good.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. I don't know if he's still doing
I can't remember
anything.
his name. They've been drafting more. They had Boyd. I think they let him go.
Yeah, he's gone.
So I'm not sure who they have at 3 right now. Somebody in the chat can probably fill us in. I can't remember. Can't keep up with the Bengals.
I can't either. I can barely keep up with the Chiefs. Here's what I'll say, though. In my opinion, I think a lot of it isn't. How do I say this? I don't think a lot of it is our talent. I think a lot of our talent, while people have cautious optimism, is because our talent can't keep it together. With Rashee Rice, there's a problem with suspensions and getting in trouble. With Worthy, there's a little bit of a problem with maybe injuries or being inconsistent on his route work or his footwork in the routes. And then Tyquan Thornton, not really no fault of his own, but they don't want to rely on him too much. Like it's like they're non-committal on letting him in there. Jalen Royals, he couldn't get on the field because of whatever. Cyrus Allen, another rookie that just sometimes Andy won't play. Totally get the optimism, but I think if you take all that out and you say, look, everything's going to be fine, just judge talent, it's a B tier easily, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think so. Not bad, not bad. All right. So go back to it. We got the offensive line at the top of B tier. Is that what we're going to roll with?
Yeah,
You guys good with that in the chat? Do you think offensive line deserves to be top of B tier? Should they be bottom A tier? I think it teeters right there. So you guys let us know, and we'll move on to the defensive line.
Steve, I will let you do defensive line. How about you get the early crack at
This is a tough
defensive
one,
line?
dude. This is a tough one. Real quick, you can leave it up. I'm just going to shout out Nikki with the 2. Says wide receiver room not bad. Just scary if somebody gets hurt. I think that's the same way with the tight end room. Although I do think the wide receiver room's a bit deeper than the tight ends. So appreciate the 2, Nikki. Okay, defensive line. Mike, you gave me a tricky one. You gave me a tricky one because we all know they were depleted. But you also have Chris Jones, one of the best defensive tackles in football, if not the best. You have George Karlaftis, who is a good, maybe not, can be great at times, not elite. But you're looking at a double-digit sack guy from George Karlaftis, a guy that puts on a lot of pressure, a high motor. But we have question marks. Like, who are you putting in there beside Chris Jones? Who's going to be the other edge rusher? Because those have been the big question marks. Now, they have tried to address this in several drafts. Felix Anudike-Uzomah has never turned out. This
Right.
is like a make or break year for that guy. Okay, first round draft pick, hasn't done squat yet. He's got to do something. They also addressed it this season with our Mason Thomas, which I'm super excited about. They went a little bit outside the box, got the speed rusher. Totally pumped about that. You got Ashton Gelati last season. I think he showed that he can be good. I think he started turning it on towards the end of the season. It might have been a little underwhelming, especially according to him. He's pretty hard on himself. He says he had an underwhelming season, and he fully expects this year to be much, much better. He wasn't happy with how last season went. Now they've also addressed the defensive tackle in the last 2 years too, with Omar Norman Lott and Peter Woods this year, which Peter Woods can also play on the outside. So they're throwing a lot of darts at the board. They're trying to get it to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But they failed to go out and get Cam Jordan, which a lot of people wanted them to do. They let him go. He ended up back with the Saints. This is a tough one to grade. And I think it's really hard to put any defensive line with Chris Jones and George Karlaftis on it below a B tier. However, the rest of it is a bunch of young guys that we don't know about just yet. Because Omar Norman Lott looked promising for a minute, got hurt.
Yeah.
Ashton Gelati, like you said, didn't have the greatest year last year, but he showed us that he had flashes, and I think he have a good year this year. And we don't know about the rookies yet. So knowing that, we did go get Tonga too. I forgot about him. That's a good run stuffing guy that can get in there. He also can create pressure too. So I think that was an upgrade. I'll give him a B. I'll give him a B. I'll put him at the bottom of the B tier. The reason being is I think they did address the middle with Tonga. Like, we need the good run stuffer because there is no more Derek Nottie. There's no more Mike Pinnell. I think you got to go with Tonga there, right? And they've been drafting pretty well. I mean, Omar Norman Lott was a second-round draft pick. Ashton Gelati was a third-round draft pick. Peter Woods was a first-round draft pick. R. Mason Thomas was a second-round draft pick. Felix Henry-Uzomah was a first-round draft pick. That's not every one of those guys, the top three rounds of the draft. I think I have to do that. I don't think I can put them much higher.
So where are you throwing them in the B tier?
I think because of total depth, I would put them above the tight end room, but maybe below the wide receiver room.
Okay.
But that could go either way. Like, you guys are going to have to help me with that one. I don't know.
Right. Here's what I'll say. I'll say George Karlaftis played injured last year. We've seen that. I think he's going to have a better year this year. What happened?
Oh, Yuck Food Tube says, I think Nightbot's sad because he doesn't have a father.
It could be.
And Mikey says he's drunk and sad, you know.
Yeah, he just said something
having
about
a bad
Sydney
day.
Sweeney bought. Did you see that?
Someone said, why is Nightbot apologizing to me? What is Nightbot doing?
Nightbot apologized. Wait a second. Where did he go? I read this and almost laughed.
What?
I apologize tonight. My wife left me. Come back, Sydney Butt Sweeney.
I am so confused what's happening with Nightbot. Bro.
We may have been hacked, ladies and gentlemen.
We have
I'll have to go look.
We have a second storyline going on the side. The mystery of Nightbot.
Nightbot may have been hacked. We'll have to go check this. But here's what I'll say.
It's kind of funny, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about the defensive line. Again, I think George Karlaftis has a better year than last year. Again, he played with that broken hand. Chris Jones now is not going to be getting doubled and triple teamed at historic rates, in my opinion, because of Kearis Tonga. George Karlaftis should have a little bit better year. We're overlooking a little bit Felix Henry-Uzomah coming back. Now, look, is that going to be crazy? I don't know, but maybe he was able to work all offseason on some like shortcomings in his game, and maybe we do see a little bit of an improvement. If you remember last year in the preseason, you were seeing a little bit of improvement with Felix Henry-Uzomah with the pass rush and some of the run game. I think it was against the Cardinals or one of those teams he played. He actually didn't look bad on certain snaps. So it looked like he was trying to get, turn the corner a little bit. I think you're going to get better out of Ashton Gelati. Again, I do think Peter Woods is going to be decent this year. I don't know if he's going to be like a game wrecker in year one. R. Mason Thomas is another guy that could flash if given the opportunity. I'm going to say that they're a B+. I think that I would put them above the wide receiver room right now because I think there's less what ifs on the defensive line.
Well,
the only what ifs that the defensive line's got for me is what if Spags don't play them in the case of R. Mason Thomas,
Totally
right?
understandable. And I'm okay with putting the defensive line above the wide receiver room for the same reason that I was okay with putting the tight end room above them, because you have the best defensive tackle in the entire league.
Yeah.
You got Chris Jones. And I know there's other people that can argue that right now because Chris Jones is getting a little older and everything. I totally understand it. but it's Chris Jones. It's Travis Kelce. You don't have that person in the wide receiver room right now. You just don't. So I'm okay with that. I like putting it where you put it. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Brandon says Nightbot is crazy. I've been in the pit for
What?
a few minutes. He needs to apologize.
Brenda went to the pit for the first time ever.
I think Nightbot doesn't have the ability to throw you guys in the actual pit. I think he just silences people.
That's weird.
It might still be something to do with emojis.
Danny Pomeroy says I was blocked too the one time I get the live stream.
Right.
Hey,
Look,
sorry, man. I don't know what Nightbot's doing.
it may still be emojis. So look, until we get that straight, just don't
there's
use
plenty
emojis.
of people putting emojis on here.
Not our own emojis though.
Oh, like the members emoji?
I think what it's doing is triggering that as spam at the moment.
Okay, we'll get it fixed, guys. Don't worry
We'll
about
fix it. But like right now, I think it's triggering it as spam. So just don't put tons of them. I'm sorry, but again, we may have been hacked.
Nah, it's probably just some little weird update. It's okay. We'll get it straightened out. Okay, cool. So you guys, so far, we're through over half the positions. Do you guys think what is on the screen is fair right now, or would you all move anything? I want to see what you guys think in the chat. So let us know what you think about that. And Mike, if you want to take that down while you guys are letting us know what you think about it so far, I want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. We're going to make some selections. Okay, Mike?
Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring today's episode. Let's make a little bit of an entry here. Let's do some World Cup action. I'm going to take Mexico attacker Julian Quinones for more 0.5 first half shots. And I'm going to take Santiago Jimenez versus South Africa, 0.5 first half shots as well. Let's also take Czech attacker Patrick Schick at Korea with 0.5 first half shots. We're going to go more there as well. We're going to lock that in. Remember, you guys can follow along with us on Prize Pick at All Chiefed Up. Be sure to go to the link in the description and sign up using code HMA. Now back to the show.
Let's go, baby. Get in that description. Click the link. Download Prize Picks. Use code HMA. Shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. Guys, appreciate all y'all being here. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button for us if you don't mind. If you're not subscribed to the channel, highly suggest you do that. And once again, sorry about Nightbot. He's a little moody today, but we'll get it all fixed. Bear with us. Anyway, I think everyone's slightly okay with what we got. I haven't seen anyone arguing it. So I think we're pretty consistent with what you guys think so far. I've seen no one.
Yeah, I was expecting it to kind of differentiate. I did say Sammy. Sammy said that the wide receivers should be in the C tier if Chad O'Shea's not here. He's keeping them out of the C tier.
Here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think that can definitely bump them up a little bit, right?
Right. Like if we had this same group and you didn't really add much but Cyrus Allen and you just had Connor Embry again, I could see that. I could see it being a big time disappointing year.
Yeah. Well, let's move on.
Okay, I'm going to take linebacker.
Let's keep it moving. Yeah,
I'll take linebacker.
D-line. You do linebacker.
So let's talk about linebacker for a second. I think Bossa is going to get a little more run this year. I think Spags last year at this time was kind of talking to him. He was kind of giving him the green dot like treatment. He was giving him the, hey, come on over. I'll put my arm around you kind of thing in camp, and we're going to talk about things. I think they're going to let Bossa run a little more this year. Losing Leo was rough, but I do think that McDonald's going to get a little bit of a run there for now. He looked good last year, in my opinion. Nick Bolton is still, and I know that a lot of people have to agree with me here. I think Nick Bolton is his contract's just a little high for what he offers. But I will say Nick Bolton is a heck of a run defender. He's smart. He gets everybody in the right spot. Does he have limitations? Yes. Does he have a bad stigma that he can't, cover? A little bit, because honestly, his PFF grades are always really high in coverage, which is weird. You don't think about it. But I do think that the linebacker group could be a weakness. Drew Tranquil didn't play as well. Was it last year or the year before? He kind of had a down year. It was one of the last two. He was a little lower. I think last year at the very end, he started coming on and playing really well. But Coop McDonald, I think he's going to get a lot of run this year. He's probably going to get that early Leo thing. I think they're also going to move Ethan Downs back to a little bit of a linebacker. I know we signed him. He played at Oklahoma. He's been on the team as a defensive end, but I think they're experimenting with him there. I'm going to put our linebacker group, and here, you may agree with me, Steve, you may not. I think the linebacker group out of all these guys are our lowest. I'm putting them at a C tier. I think that our linebacker room is the lowest thing on our team that we've discussed so far.
Yeah, well, I'm going to kind of agree with Danny in the chat. He says linebacker room is just thin, but they're good. I think they are good, but they are very thin, and we don't know exactly what we got with Jeffrey Bossa.
Right, yeah. He's an unknown.
So, I mean, really, Leo's gone. Bye, Leo, which kind of sucks. I think everybody hated that a little bit. So you're kind of just looking at Bolton Tranquil, right?
Yeah.
So I think it would be hard to put them into a B tier, especially with the other position groups that we put in the B tier, because I do think that out of all of the position groups, I think the linebacker one might be one of the weakest. And it's not because Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquil aren't good. It's not because maybe Bossa won't be good. It's not because I don't like Coop McDonald and some of those guys. It's thin. It's really thin. I'm surprised I didn't make a move at linebacker, to be quite honest.
Yeah, because look, we know that Bossa is going to be a weak side guy. Him and Drew Tranquil. I thought that they had drafted Bossa to get rid of Tranquil this year, and then you've seen Tranquil kind of stick around, and then before we know it, boom, he redoes his contract and he stays, and then you see Leo's gone, which is wild. Leo did get a pretty good contract,
yeah,
but like you've got that strong side linebacker where Leo played. And you're three guys in that position, because I don't think it's going to be Bossa playing a strong side. I just don't see it. I think it's going to be between like Jack Cochran, Coop McDonald, and Cole Christensen. Like if Coop McDonald doesn't win that, I think it's outright crazy, because I just don't think Cochran and Christensen are ever going to pan out. Like they've just been serviceable special team guys. And of course we did pick up for Miami Wesley Basaint. He's more of a middle linebacker kind of guy, and I think Jack Cochran could just about play middle over strong side as well. So that's why I feel like Coop McDonald might get the first crack at that. But it is
I would go C tier, and
it's a very weak group.
Fred in the chat saying tight end should probably be C tier too, because they're very thin. I want to argue with you. I think right now, if you bring it back up, Mike, we should have tight end the bottom of the B tier, but they could totally be top C tier.
Yeah, I could see them doing this too.
That's not. Yeah, you're right there with us. It's just,
I think we're gonna go with the assumption that Kelsey comes back motivated in his final potential year.
Yeah, Mike
and
Jamie.
It's tough.
Jamie with a 2-bomb says losing Leo puts this group at D tier. What do you think about that?
Look, you may not be wrong. I'm telling you, like, it is definitely the weakest group we have on this team.
Yeah, I mean, really, they didn't even address it at all in the draft either. They got Wesley Basaint as a UDFA.
You may be more fair, Steve. D tier may be more fair, because if you think about it, you've got Drew Tranquil and you've got Nick Bolton. Everybody in Chiefs Kingdom will agree that Nick Bolton is overpaid, his contract's too much, and he's got a lot of limitations. Drew Tranquil is kind of the same hit or miss kind of guy. Like, there's weeks he looks good, there's weeks he looks lost. That's your two best guys. You very well could put them in the D tier, and I would not argue. Like, we have some problems here. I kind of thought they were going to address it a little bit in the draft, and they never did. We were talking about several guys drafting, like we thought maybe the kid out of Cincinnati could be drafted. I think it was Brenda or somebody that really loved the kid out of Cincinnati.
Golday, maybe?
Yeah, Jack Golday. And there was chances to get him, and they just overlooked them. So maybe they're going to try Bossa playing
there
strong
was even hype
side,
about Jacob Rodriguez or whatever his name was, and then that.
Yeah, there was plenty. Jack Kelly out of BYU we liked in the later rounds. There was a lot of guys, and we just didn't address it. Kind of odd, to be honest.
Appreciate the 2, Jamie. Appreciate the 2. Danny says we'll regret not keeping Leo. I don't disagree with this, because I think Leo Chanel is a badass football player. Like, he is a good football player, and we used him kind of weird, in my opinion. I think Leo, on a different team, in a different scheme, he could be crazy. I mean,
different team, different scheme. Wish I had another one. Yeah. I needed a third one.
Well, like Shannon saying in the chat, like, y'all are nuts. Leo wasn't exactly an all-pro.
Yeah.
I think that Leo could be. Like, Leo, you have to think, Leo was a 9.99 RAS score athlete.
He was way underutilized here.
Yeah,
we could have done so many more things with Leo, and I think that they hampered him. You may see Leo, flourish somewhere else.
They put Leo off the edge, a handful of times his entire time in Kansas City, which is somewhere where I think he could thrive. Leo can do a lot more than the way he got used, for sure, I think.
I want to look that up. I think I was under the assumption that Leo didn't rush off the edge a lot last year, but I think PFF actually had him up there a few times more than I thought. So if I go back and look, let me go back.
A lot of people in chat, Mike, thinks Leo's overrated. And I mean, it's hard to argue with you because he hasn't proved it per se on the field. It's a lot of speculation, and it's a lot about how the Chiefs used him as opposed to, say, the way he was being used in Wisconsin or, like stuff like that. But I don't know.
Let me see. Snaps by position. This will give it to me. Why does it say? Come on now. It's trying to take away my membership to PFF. What are we doing?
Hey, speaking of memberships, just because you guys are here with us tonight, and we appreciate y'all being here with us doing this in the dead off season, nothing going on. I want to gift out some memberships.
Okay, I like that.
Because you guys that are here tonight, y'all deserve a chance to get one. So let me do that. I'm going to go. Boom.
Okay, and so while you're doing that, here was Leo. He was actually on the defensive line last year. He lined up 161 times on the edge. Now, look, that blows my mind because I did not think he was out there that much.
No,
edge.
I didn't.
Would you have ever thought that?
How much did you say exactly?
161 snaps.
No. Something's wrong with that. There's no way.
17 snaps on the edge in week 2.
Did he actually rush from there, though, or a lot of those drop backs? Because he'll actually rush.
It doesn't say. It just says that his alignment was on the defensive line.
Hey, shout out DLJ, won last night, Zach Gorman, slamming Sammy Joe, Stitch Lover, and Damn BMO. Welcome to the crew. I think Slamming Sammy Joe did not, actually. I'm sorry. You just commented in the middle. But Sammy's already a member, so it doesn't matter. Thanks for being with the crew. How about that?
There we go.
But, yeah, I'm with you. I don't remember him rushing the passer that much, so I'm thinking maybe it's just where he was lined up. But I bet you I would almost be willing to bet 75 to 80% of those he dropped back. I'd almost bet it. I just don't remember him rushing the passer that much.
Well, so here we go. Look, so you got a pass rush. So if you look at all these, so like in week 2, it says he lined up in the defensive line 17 times versus the Eagles. He only pass rushed 6 of those. 15 times in week 3 and week 4 versus the Giants and the Ravens. He actually rushed 15 times. 15 out of 15 versus the Giants. That is a game that you should go back and watch and see what he really did there.
Warpaint came in and said, hey, good to catch you live. Nightbot's like, no. How dare you? Hey, Warpaint, good to see you, brother. Ignore Nightbot. And if you get timed out for a minute, I'm sorry. Good grief. Nightbot's going live.
Yeah, he probably timed him out.
We're going to get it fixed. We're going to get it fixed. Sorry. But, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's move on, Mike. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's get this going because we're almost to the end here. Corner room. Do you want to take corner?
Can we go ahead and get special teams out the way?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Just for the sake of getting this through quicker.
With special teams, too, I'm going to count kick, punt, Winchester, and I'm going to give, like the Nikos, the Emmett Johnsons, all the kick return, punt return, too. I want that in there as well.
I think they're an easy A tier usually with Butker. Butker had a down year, so I could maybe go top of B tier. But Winchester, beast. I mean, nothing to worry about there. Punter, we kept Ariza, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go A tier with them. I think they're great. That's a good solid 3.
But do you think Nico and everybody, so like punt return, kick return, you think that's, because I want to put that in with it.
I don't think that they're bad enough to hamper the entire special teams unit.
I would say as bad as Butker looked last year, until he can prove that he's not going to do that again, I think B tier is where I have to put him.
You
could argue with me, but look, Butker has got to get it together this year.
Yeah.
So B for Butker is what I.
Butker didn't lose you any games. Let's get that straight.
Oh, I mean, he never missed an outright kick at the end of the game, but there was a lot of games that he left some points on the board that could have changed.
Butker is still, even after a bad year last year, one of the best kickers in football. He just is. So I think he's going to have a good bounce back year.
Sammy said A.
I also think that Matt Ariza had a lot more touch last year,
Right.
than he had previously. I would have to give them bottom tier the A, and top tier B. I won't argue with you too much, but I mean Butker is a beast, and I mean Ariza, Winchester, they're hard to argue with, brother.
I'll say, look, Nico does a decent job at kick return. I think Jalen Royals does a good job when he gets back there. I think that
Thornton,
Emmett Johnson
punt
could
return
be
does okay.
good.
Yep.
Like, there's several. I'll say, here's my caveat. I'll leave them at an A.
I'm okay with B tier, top B tier, because I don't like what Dave Tobe did with his team the last few years.
Yes,
on
and that's
special
another
teams,
thing. I think Dave Tobe kind of brings that down a little
someone
bit.
point that out in the chat. Who was it? Is Danny saying the coaching staff has a lot to do with it? Yeah.
You like them better or worse than the offensive defensive line? You just still put them at the top of the tier?
Top B tier, bottom A tier, I'm fine with. Our boy Fred with a 2. Appreciate the support, brother. He says A tier solid. Let's go with bottom A. I think that's fair.
Okay, we'll let everybody do it. Look, I think it's fair. I think if you give
You think
Butker's history,
actually lost us games last year? I don't know about that.
I think if Butker, if Butker gets back to kicking consistently, they're definitely A tier because I think that Ariza found enough touch to get it up. If you go back the other way and you say, look, Butker still looks like Butker and Ariza's lost his touch again, now they're borderline a C tier.
Right.
So that's why I was saying B in the middle, but I'll give you guys low A.
Let's go.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine
Let's
with
go
it.
that. I mean, yeah. Just gotta. Flapjack's back.
I'm good with
Flapjack's
it.
back.
Guess who's back? Dun-dun. Okay, so let's go corner room.
All right. Yep.
I'll give you my initial thoughts on corner, and you tell me if I'm crazy. You lost McDuffie. You lost Watson. You did lose Josh Williams, although Josh Williams was a penalty machine on special teams, but he was solid if given a chance playing the just the corner position. And but you didn't see it a lot. Spags kept him in the doghouse, so Josh Williams not a big loss. Najee Johnson's not back, obviously. That wasn't, much of a thing. There's a few guys that's changed there. I think bringing back Snead definitely raised the floor. I'm going to assume that Snead's going to be back healthier, and I think Snead does better in a system with Spags than he did when he was in Tennessee. So I think he raises the floor. I think he helps Delane be able to develop. He doesn't have to develop so fast and furious because I do think it's crazy to think that McDuffie was amazing, like almost from day one, but he did start a lot nickel, and then he kind of like got out to the outside. Delane, they could go that same route with him, but the nickel position does look to be solid with Kohu and Kennedy. I do even think you could put Christian Roland Wallace there, even though he's technically a safety. You could probably say that because he does play the nickel a lot. I think they're a solid B tier because I think that L'Jarius Sneed did up it. Like with McDuffie, they were an A tier, but I think with Noah Williams going into year 2, unless he has some kind of a big sophomore slump, I think Christian Fulton looks better than this year. I think they're a solid B tier, and I would probably put them.
I'd go
probably above wide receiver, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like that's about somewhere that I would rank about right in that region.
So I would potentially put them up higher than
the defensive line too.
Maybe I feel like there's a lot of question marks on both of those rooms. So I think either way would be fine.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
So I'm good with the below D line. A couple things I'll point out. Mansour Delane, number 6 picks overall, absolute beast. If he pans out, sweet.
Yeah.
Perfect. Will he be as good as McDuffie? Quite possibly. That's a tough feat, but I think he can do it. He's got all the skills. He's got the athleticism. I will say this: Jalen Watson leaving the team does not hurt nearly as much after you get L'Jarius Sneed back. And the reason why I say that is
also with Noah Williams' emergence last year.
Exactly. Because if you think about Noah Williams and you think about L'Jarius Sneed, if L'Jarius Sneed's, let's just say, I know he's had some injuries, he's had some problems, he hasn't played great in Tennessee. If he's 80% of what he was last time we had him, if he's 75% of what we had last time, those two fill the void of Jalen Watson pretty easily, in my opinion. Love Jalen Watson. I thought he overachieved. 7th round draft pick, Thought he did great. However, I think he was a little overrated amongst Chiefs Kingdom. Now, he did have good PFF grades sometimes and things like that. He would almost be in the top of the league in certain things. But if you go back and watch a lot of games, particularly the Super Bowl against the Eagles where we got smoked, he got ate alive. I mean, he was getting destroyed by everyone on that football field. Devontae Smith made him look useless. So when I think about, the downsides of Jalen Watson, it don't hurt as much now that you got Snead back, you got Noah Williams coming on. So I'm right there with you. I think as a whole, it's not the deepest room, but it also isn't the thinnest. Like it's in a good spot, I think. As long as Mansour Delane turns out. Christian Fulton, if you can get, 2/3 of a season out of him, that's a win. I don't know. I'm pretty optimistic about it, I think. And plus the fact that we got Jaden Kennedy now. We also got Kohu. That way we don't have to put, what's his name? Help me out here. Shamari Connor in the slot. He can go back to safety. That's huge.
Dude, there's a couple UDFAs that have a shot of getting in here. And we haven't even mentioned Kevin Knowles. I thought Kevin Knowles was a really good slot option last year at certain times. They even put him on the roster late in the season.
Real quick, Mike.
Yeah.
I'll get these real quick. Flapjack with the 2 says, Rand told Travis, you're going to get 12. Oh, okay, I know. I'm sorry, we suck. We're slow. So that's what he was talking about before Nightbot gave him a timeout.
Gotcha.
Appreciate you, Flapjack. And then he also said, one of the highest paid O-lines, and we a B. Ouch. Agreed. But I think the reason why we're a B is because a little bit of question marks. We got Kingsley and Josh Simmons both having their second season in their respective positions.
Right. Should get better.
And they both were pretty solid last year.
Both on rookie contracts. You got to realize that the only reason we're overpaid at offensive line is the 2 guys in the
Trey
middle.
Smith and Creed Humphrey.
And then we overpaid Jalen Moore because we really had to. But Jalen Moore did come in handy last year, mid-season. Towards the end of the season, he kind of looked a little worse.
Yep.
But it's actually paying off now because now he's needed to be a starter on the right side possibly.
Mike, I've seen a couple of people talking about this, so I'm not going to give all the credit to Jazzy here. But Butker was coming off of some injuries and stuff last year. So you have to consider that, too, with the special teams. Mikey with the 5 bombs. His cornerback is a C+ until they prove it on the field. They'll be able to prove it week 1 against Waddle and Sutton.
You're right. I mean, all this is proven.
That's valid. I would still put them lower B, probably, where you got them. C+ would be fair, though. So, not bad. Appreciate the 5, brother. Chief KT with the 2 says Watson and McDuffie will get exposed in the NFC. I don't think that McDuffie will. McDuffie's a dog.
Boy,
I know a lot of people didn't like McDuffie for whatever reason, but McDuffie is a dog.
To watch McDuffie line up versus those Seattle Seahawks, like seeing some of that, like Jackson Smith and Jigba matchups is going to be fun.
Here's my thing. I think with McDuffie, he's always in your hip pocket. Most of the time when McDuffie got beat, it was because of size. Because he's on the outside and he was a bigger receiver.
He was absolutely right there in phase with him. He just got out jumped.
And the only other times that you really saw him let up touchdowns and stuff, a lot of times it was like he lost his footing or something like that. Like it was something weird, like where he slipped or something like that.
In year 2 and year 3 is a lot of blown coverages behind him, if you remember that.
Yeah, so I mean, McDuffie, dog. I think he'll be fine. Watson could get exposed. But if I had to guess right now, I would bet McDuffie's still going to be a top cornerback in the league. And you never know how they're going to use him either. They might decide to use him in the slot. If they do that, I mean, he's going to kill him.
Did you see where the Rams released a thing where they got McDuffie and asked him about the game he's looking most forward to? And he said the Chiefs. Like, he felt hurt that he got traded and we didn't pay him here, I think.
Yeah, it sucks because I thought he might be the first corner that we would actually pay.
I think he thought he earned it too, and Brett Veach decided not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's natural. I mean, that's natural. But here's the thing. That defense, they only got Myles Garrett too.
Yeah.
So that's going to help McDuffie and Watson.
They're still like fishing around trying to get Aaron Donald to come back.
Hey, Flapjack says, where are we ranking the coaching staff? Hey, just for shits and giggles, when we're done, we'll put the coaching staff in a tier.
I thought about putting them on there, and I just didn't do it.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Let's move on. Let's go to safety. Safety, I think it's hard to put them in a B tier.
Are we good? Well, we didn't. Is corner fine where you got them, or do you
Yes,
guys think
I'm
they should
okay.
go down further though? Because some people were saying C tier.
Let's do this. Put them down at the bottom of B, and I think that's fair for everybody. They're definitely not below the linebackers, I don't think.
I think they're above the tight ends, to be honest. Like, are you telling me our cornerback room don't feel as deep as the tight end room? Like, again, take Kelsey off, and you have like
Yes, but we don't have a Kelsey in the cornerback room. We don't have a McDuffie no more.
true.
So I think maybe bottom B, top C is fine. Because I think tight end could definitely be in the C tier too. If we wanted to be fair, you could have tight end, tight end, cornerback, linebacker in the C tier. If you wanted to be fair, I mean that's a possibility here. So
Yeah, well, look, it could also be this. It could definitely be that.
yeah, it could be.
Like, so for real, like, I think we're being
Plus,
pretty generous
it's
with
our
them.
dudes, man. We're giving
Yeah.
them the benefit of the doubt
Okay,
here.
Steve, take safety, man.
So safety, what are we looking at with safety here? Brian Cook is gone.
You got a Lowy Gilman back.
You got a Loey
Well,
Gilman.
not back, but he's here. Chamari Connor.
Shamari Connor's going back to safety, hopefully.
Yeah.
We were really, really looking forward to our boy having a breakout season last year. Jaden Hicks.
Yeah.
Didn't get to do that. Spags wouldn't put him on the football field. And real quick, while we're talking about it, shout out Jaden Hicks. Gave us a signed jersey that we're going to give away on our members only live stream coming up here real soon. So if you're not a member and you didn't get one of the memberships
Yeah.
earlier, join at allchiefedup.com or hit that join button at the top and get a chance to win a signed Jaden
Yeah.
Hicks jersey.
Within the next 10 days, that'll be going
Yeah.
up. So,
keep that in mind. Okay. So when I'm thinking about the talent that's there, Mike, there's talent there. I think Shamari Connor as a safety is good. He's not bad. I want to give him a chance because he should not have been playing the nickel. Just not.
Right.
So he caught
Yeah.
a lot of crap from us last season. Rightfully so, but he's out of position. Okay. I think Aloy Gilman, I loved the Aloy Gilman signing. I thought that was a good one. But I still don't feel warm and fuzzy about the safety room. I just don't. It'd be really hard for me to put them much further than above the linebackers in the C tier. And to me, that could go either way.
yeah. Well, you didn't even mention Christian Roland Wallace,
Yeah,
technically.
right? But I mean, what those guys are good. Don't get me wrong. But is there anybody in that safety room that makes you be like, hell yeah, baby, this is a solid B or an A?
No,
There's
I
just
think
not.
Jaden Hicks' season last year and the confidence they lost in him, like he's got a lot of room to make up. Chamari Connor, again, if he plays safety, I think he's fine. He needs to be a box safety. That's what this guy is. Alohi Gilman, I do think shows a lot of range. I think he's fine. But do we know how great he's going to be? No. Christian Roland Wallace, again, you're kind of there. Like, is he going to play nickel? Where's he going to play? And then after that, you've got Xavier Nwampa. We don't even know if he'll make the team. You also have Deshaun Singleton. Don't know if he'll make it. I think Tanner McAllister's back there. Marlon Sewell's back there. Those are all like UDFA guys. Like, we don't even know if they're going to make the team.
No,
I think the
Wampa
safety
could
positions.
sneak on. I think Wampa could sneak
Yeah, I
on.
feel like the safety position probably has to be down here in the C tier with the linebackers, honestly.
That's what I'm with that too. You guys let us know in the chat what you guys think.
And I'll put linebacker above him because I think Nick Bolton is a better linebacker than any safety we have in the safety room.
Mike Rust here says A- to B+. Brian Parrott says solid B because of Gilman.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I think bottom B, top C is all I would be able to do, guys. That's as much as I could do. Bottom B seems too generous.
Look, I'm actually very this is eye-opening. I didn't think that our fans thought the safety room was that good of a group.
I feel like the safety room is the tight end room of the defense. Like, without Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no Justin Reed there. There's no Honey Badger there.
Sammy even says safety over linebacker. I mean, I get Alohi Gilman's pretty good, but like if you think about it, like has Alohi Gilman ever been a Pro Bowl player? Has he ever been an All-Pro? Like
I
he's
think
been
it's
solid,
it's a
nothing
wait.
spectacular.
Hey, look, excuse the pun, but I think it's a wait and see. You know, I think it's a
see.
yeah, it's a wait and see. It just is.
That's where I have to go with it. Like, could they be great? Absolutely. Chamari Connor and Hicks could turn out to be amazing. Alohi Gilman could be awesome. Maybe
Yep.
Wampa makes the team and looks good. Deshaun Singleton, but as it sits right now, man, you got to think about it. This room didn't get added to that much. And like last year, we were playing like Mike Edwards.
Right.
Like, geez.
Yep, Red Pill with the 5 bombs says take our championship rosters and match it up with our roster now and grade it that way. I think a lot of it has to do with chemistry. Happy Father's Day. That'd be something to do later on. That'd be tough to do right at the moment, but yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Happy Father's Day. Appreciate the support, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Hey, if this is like stuff you guys like these kinds of like interactive single tier lists and stuff, like we'll do more of those. We're in a very slow time of the year. Like I have fun doing stuff like this, but it always never translates. It feels like everybody doesn't enjoy it, but I have fun doing these kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a good little experiment
So
to do.
definitely let us know if you like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so bring it back up. I think we'll sit it here. I think
anything you want to change.
Look, so I think I'm completely fine with this. Just because of what Flapjack said, where do we rank the coaching staff? I think that it's impossible to rank Andy Reid lower than an A. However, I would put him an S tier because Andy's one of the best ever, but Andy had a bad year last year. Andy did not hold his coaching staff accountable last year. Andy had a lot of bad personnel decisions throughout. So Andy can't do any better than an A for me at the moment. You would have asked me a year ago, I'd have said S tier. But I think with adding Chad O'Shea, with getting DeMarco Murray in there, with getting Eric Bieniemy back, I think it's a solid A for the coaches.
You're going right there with Andy.
Yeah, I got to do it.
Here's what I think. I think bringing back Bieniemy helps. Until Bieniemy proves to me that he stinks all of a sudden, I think Bieniemy done a lot more for our offense. He holds a lot more guys accountable than you ever seen with Matt Nagy. I think Chad O'Shea is a championship pedigree, maybe the best wide receiver coach we've had here in decades. I think that DeMarco Murray is a better running backs coach. And then you're also going to get the fact that Bieniemy was a hell of a running back. He's going to help too.
Right.
The only coaching staff change I could have done this year that didn't happen was Dave Tobe. Again, I felt like he's done a lot of things, but we kind of all knew Tobe wasn't going anywhere.
Had a lot of good years too, though.
Look, Andy could be older, and he may be losing a step. But honestly, I'm going to have to say if Andy misses the playoffs again this year, then I can make the case that Andy's lost a step. Maybe he needs to start stepping away from the game. Maybe he's on the hot seat even potentially. But for right now, I cannot rate. I think that our coaching staff is an S tier. There's not many coaching staffs out there. Maybe Sean McVay.
I'm okay
maybe
with
that
it.
coaching staff. I don't see. Is there any coaching staff you would change right now and replace Andy with?
No, there's not. And the reason why I put him in an A was because of last season. I thought last season
I'll
was
give
a
you
failure.
that, but they did make the changes.
It started with Andy Reid, but they did make the changes. So I'm fair. I'm good with top A, bottom S. That's where that goes. But yeah, I think that's where it rolls. And I saw a comment from Danny I wanted to bring up. It said, finally, our offense looks better than our defense. This should be interesting. The coaching staff is going to earn their money this year. So it kind of goes along with what we're talking about with the coaches. But if you bring that tier list back up real quick, Mike, if you notice, it's very offensive heavy at the top.
Yeah, quarterback, running back, coaches, basically, because why? Well, we didn't even talk about Spags and Merritt. I mean, that's on the coaching staff too, but the coaches that we brought in are primarily
I think it's fair
offensive.
to have I think it's fair to have S tier with Spags and everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Joe Cullen.
But they did make some bad decisions last season, so that's the only reason why
I think your two weak coaches might be linebacker room, Andy Heck, something like that, but they're still not that bad.
But what Danny's pointing out here is I think that we have a lot of optimism about where our offense is going to be because we have the offense at the top of this tier list, and they have been ass for 2 years.
And only the defensive line cracks any offensive
our defense,
stuff.
As much as everybody wants to blame our defense for a lot of things that happened last season, they were a top 10 defense last season. They were top 5 defense the season before that.
They were
a top 3 defense the season before that. And we have our offense ranked up higher than our defense right now. Coming off the 2 crappy years we just watched.
Might be a good sign here.
Yeah, man. I think
unless the defense takes a step back.
Yeah.
That's what you can't have is regression. You can't have regression, yep.
Mike, we got a 5 from our boy. Fred says, with Snead being a coach player, I think safety will be fine. Dave Toad is lazy and not a teacher.
So are you saying that as in you think Snead will go play safety? Move him to
no, but
safety?
Snead is a safety at heart, right? It's what he always played before
absolutely.
we moved him in the corner. No, but I think it's definitely something he can help coach up some of those guys, right?
Snead absolutely could play
and
safety.
Dave Merritt's always been good. So
yeah.
Appreciate the 5, Fred. That's awesome, man. Danny says the KCSN guys have been doing top 10 moments of the past decade and stuff like that, so that could be fun. Yeah, we're good with doing things like that here in the dead part of the off season because until they get to camp, it's going to be a little slow. So we'll be doing some different things. So if you like what we're doing, let us know on that particular day. If you don't be afraid to be like, hey, not a fan. That way we kind of get a feel for it and know what's fun for everybody to do during these dead parts of the off season.
Yeah.
But guys, want to shout out everybody for being here tonight because it is the dead part of the off season. So thanks for coming and participating with us and having a good time. All you guys that donated, appreciate you guys. You guys are helping this channel grow and sustain and all that stuff. Can't thank you enough for that. Want to shout out Prize Picks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. You can get down in the description, click the link, use code HMA when you're signing up. That way they'll know All Chiefed Up sent you over there. And yeah, guys, like on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We're going to have much more content coming your way. But thanks for being here tonight, and we'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.
Wow.